Hello, uh, Miles here, YoRap, is my username, YORAP. I'm not necessarily sure who I'm making this video for yet, but whoever I am making it for, or whomever I am making it for, like whatever group or anything, I am going to give a basic idea of what Minecraft is. Now, to get started, basically I should say Minecraft is a cave game. That's not a bad thing. Don't be deceived, but this is just episode 1 of what Minecraft is. This will be going on to my YouTube channel and also be sent to the specific people that I wanted to show this to. As you guys may have seen already, there's a gigantic demo mode in the middle of the screen. That is my recording software. I did not buy the full version, so that's why it says demo mode. But basically, yeah, I guess we should just get started. So Minecraft is pretty much just a game where you are a person in a randomly generated world made completely out of cubes, or blocks, as they say in the game. And basically, you can do whatever you want. I mean, there are 2 game modes. Well, let me get into the basics. Let me go to the basic things first. So there's 2 types of game modes. There's single player, and then there's multiplayer. I will go over the patch notes and the options in one of the other episodes, but I guess we should first start with single player. So as you can see, I have a number of worlds. It says right here I've created world. A lot of information, too confusing. So let's just go to the first button. As you can see, without selecting anything here, we have 2 buttons that light up. There's the cancel, which obviously brings you back to this screen. Let's click single player again. And then there's create new world. Now we're going to create a new world. And there's 2 different modes. Well, actually there are 3 different modes, but they really go into 2 different categories. So game mode, there's survival, hardcore, which is same as survival mode, except it's locked on the hardest difficulty and you only have 1 life. And then there's creative. Now we're going to start with survival. Survival is basically, as it says here in the description, you search for resources, you get to craft items, you can gain levels, which means experience and enchanting and things like that. We'll get to that later. And also health and hunger. Let me check my time. Oh, we're doing pretty good. So we're going to start with survival. If you can name your world whatever you want. I am going to call this intro, can't spell today, intro to Minecraft. And if you want to come down here, go to, more world options, click on it, different things, seed for the world. That means that, if you leave it blank, it will have a random seed, which means it will just create a random world off of some kind of algorithm, formula, something like that. You have no control over that. If you put in a certain seed, like that you found on the internet, it will generate that seed that person created a long time ago. Or you can make your own seed by just typing in anything. But I think we should just stick with that. Leave it blank so we get something completely random. And if you do get something completely random, the seed is like just a bunch of numbers like 527 blah 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 blah. It's not pretty to remember. It's pretty long. It's not pretty, but it's pretty long. So yeah, next we have generate structures, villages, dungeons, etc. We're gonna leave that on. Villages are villages that are already built for NPCs or non-player controlled things. So you might see other villagers walking around in these randomly created areas. Dungeons, which are scary rooms that have monster spawners. Spawners are things that or spawn or make a monster appear around you. And so those things are crazy, but we're going to leave that on. World type, there's default, super flat, which you can customize to different things, and large biomes. Large biomes is basically like default, except the biome you're in, the biome is exactly like real life biomes where there's desert, taiga, tundra, oceans, grasslands, things like that, jungle. We're gonna leave that. Makes the large biomes just make the biomes bigger, so it takes longer to escape from one. So we're gonna leave that on difficult. Also, super flat is just a completely flat world for most of the time creative mode. So we're gonna leave that on default. Doing pretty well on time. Allow cheats. So we are going to keep that off because cheating is not cool. I mean, sometimes you can do some pretty cool things with it, but we're just going to leave that off and get to that in a later episode. Cheats is normally on for people who are running servers for multiplayer, so that they can make sure that their players aren't blowing up stuff or stealing from others. They can kind of control the game with commands that involve cheats. So we're going to leave that off because we're only playing single player for right now. And then we're going to go with bonus chests, also off. Bonus chests are just chests that spawn like within a 20 block radius of where you first appear in the world. And they have like simple tools and equipment in them, such as like 5 to 10 torches, stone or wooden tools, and sometimes, on rare occasions, minimal amount of food like meat, uncooked meat, and apples and wheat and things like that. So that's basically the more world options area. And we've gone over that, so I know you're waiting for the big moment. We are going to create the world now. So loading the world, this usually takes a little while, because it's creating an entire world that stretches infinitely. Oh, wow, that was quicker than usual. Okay, so here we are in Minecraft. Oh, got some sand falling because the world's still generating. Let's see how I'm doing on time. I got about like 3 minutes left. I'm gonna make these like 10-minute episodes. So yeah, I'm gonna go over the basic controls. If you can't tell, I'm moving where I'm looking around with my mouse. So, or your trackpad if you're on a laptop or something like that. I have a mouse plugged into my laptop, so that's how that works for me. So that's how you look around. You can scroll, you can move the mouse all around to look up, down, side to side. And yeah, so that's basically how you look around. The next control we have is moving with your feet. You move with your feet to move forward, you press W. So you can see I'm moving forward. To move backwards, you use S. To move right, you use D. And to move left, you use A. And if I go, like, if I use my WASD keys and my mouse at the same time, I can maneuver around the terrain. So yeah, that's pretty simple. Oh, also, if you want to get to this screen so that you can get out of the game, you press the escape key on your keyboard and it will take you to that. I'm gonna make this a little bit longer of an episode, possibly 13 minutes, so I can go over the rest. Now, as you could tell, I wasn't just, I can't get up. What's up? What's happening? To get up or to jump, you press the space bar. Now, obviously, if you go up to something and then you press space bar, you're not going to get over it. You have to move forward and press space bar at the same time. If you haven't noticed yet on your keyboard, the WASD keys are in the exact same shape that the arrow keys are, but they're on the left side of your keyboard. So that makes it easier to use your mouse, so you're not like crowding on one side of the computer. You're equally distributed comfortably across the computer when you're doing that. Also, the next thing you have to do, so oh my gosh, we're trapped on this side of the river. How do we... This is water, by the way. I'm gonna get over to the blocks next. We want to get over there. So we want to get through the water, and we're like, okay, how do we get through the water? So just jump into it. Oh no, what's this? As you might be able to see in this area, I have these bubbles and they're going away, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna drown. No, you're not. You just press space. Now, obviously, you have to press and hold space to continue to swim, and you will float back up to the top. It's pretty simple. So to move around while you're swimming, you hold down space and move your arrow keys and your mouse. So now you're up to work in about, I don't know, like 4 or 5 fingers, something like that, along with your other hand for your mouse. And there, that's basically the simple controls. Also, there's I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep track of my time. There's 2 other special controls you need to remember. One of them is crouch. Now, to crouch, you're not actually going to be on the ground. You're just going to look like you're a little bit lower. And to crouch, you're going to press the shift key on the left side of your keyboard. There are 2 shift keys. There's one on the right and one on the left. And you're going to press the one on the left. Actually, it has to be the one on the left. And when you shift, it will just look like you're a little bit lower. I can't tell if you can see or if you can tell, but like it looks like I'm kind of jumping, but I'm actually, this is standing, crouching. Not much of a difference, but the special thing about crouch is when you crouch and you hold down crouch, you have to hold it down. You move slower, which isn't always the best thing, but if you're moving normally, you can fall off a block. But if you're crouching, you cannot fall off. It's, as long as you're crouching, you won't fall. Now, the second you let go of crouch, you'll fall. See? I fell. Because I let go of crouch. But, so those are the basic maneuvering controls. The last control I want you guys to know about for this first episode of Intro to Minecraft is, the inventory key. On older versions of Minecraft, the game asks you to press I to access your inventory, but that's not how it works anymore. Don't be like, oh, I'm clicking I. Why can't it work? Why wasn't it working? It doesn't work anymore. So now you're gonna have to press E, which I think is a lot. Oh, get out of my way. I think it's a lot nicer to have E as your inventory. I for inventory, yeah, it makes sense, but E is right next to your W key and right above your D, so you don't have to stretch your hand all across the keyboard just to get to your inventory. You just reach your index finger up to the E, and here we go. This is your inventory. As you can see, I have my little skin on me, checking in time. Wherever my mouse goes, that's where I'm looking. That's not necessarily the most important thing, but it's a good way to see what you look like from the front view. Also, you have your little crafting area. I will get to that next episode, or possibly the 3rd episode. You have this area, which is where you're going to put armor when we finally get to that. And then you have all the area for your inventory, along with this, which is called your hotbar. And your hotbar is what you see right here, along with your health and your food bars, which I will get to next episode, I promise you. So yes, that was the introduction to Minecraft.